Darth Vader stands alone in the ruins of Mustafar, his fortress crumbling around him. The Emperor is dead, Luke is gone, and the Force itself feels wrong, fractured, pulling him toward something ancient. A Sith holocron in his hand burns red, whispering of a place where gods wage war and death means nothing. He crushes it, but the portal opens anyway, a wound in space that smells of rot and gold. The breach pulls him forward, armor screaming, lightsaber igniting. He steps through. Act 1, sky of ash. Sky over Caelid tears open. A black shape falls through the red clouds, trailing fire. It hits the swamp of Aeonia hard enough to crack stone. Rot-infected soldiers stumble back from the crater, their eyes wide. Behind rusted helmets, steam rises, then a figure stands. Darth Vader rises from the impact site, his black armor scorched but intact. His cape hangs in tatters. The respirator in his mask hisses with each breath, loud in the sudden silence. He looks up at the scarlet sky, at the twisted trees, at the soldiers pointing spears at him. I see one soldier charges. Vader raises his hand. The soldier lifts into the air, choking, legs kicking. The other soldiers freeze. Vader flicks his wrist. The man flies backward into a boulder and does not move. "Where am I?" Vader's voice booms, mechanical and deep. No one answers. They run. Vader walks forward, boots crunching on rotted ground. His lightsaber hangs at his belt, unlit. The Force swirls around him, but it feels different here. Thicker, older, contaminated with something that makes his cybernetics itch. A roar splits the air. From the crimson mist comes a creature the size of a house. Its skin is melted, its eyes glow with madness, and rot drips from its claws. A rotten stray, hungry and fast, it charges Vader with impossible speed. Vader does not move. The creature leaps. Vader raises both hands. The beast stops in midair, suspended by invisible power. Its legs thrash, its jaws snap at nothing. Vader clenches his fists. Bones crack. The creature whimpers, then falls silent. He drops it. The body hits the ground like a broken toy. "Impressive," a voice says from behind him. Vader turns. A man in bronze armor stands on a ridge, watching. He wears a wolf head helm and carries a massive halberd. Behind him stand 20 knights in golden plate, their shields bearing the image of a great tree. "I am Commander Niall," the man says, removing his helm. His face is old, scarred, weathered. "Knight of the Erd Tree, you fight like no sorcerer I have ever seen." "I am no sorcerer," Vader replies. "Then what are you?" "A weapon." Niall studies him for a long moment. "Caelid is lost to the rot. Radahn's soldiers are mindless. The land itself is dying, and things crawl from the swamps that should not exist. If you are a weapon, point yourself at them." Vader looks at the horizon. In the distance, a massive structure rises, a tower of stone wrapped in golden light. It hurts to look at, like staring at a sun. The Force recoils from it. "What is that?" Vader asks. "The divine tower of Caelid," Niall says. "Once it held a great rune, a fragment of the Elden Ring itself. Now it is a beacon, calling all who seek power. Radahn's followers gather there, trying to claim what is left. And you want me to stop them. I want to see what you can do." A scream rises from the south, then another, then a dozen. Niall's face hardens. He signals his knights. They form a shield wall. From the mist comes an army. Not soldiers, not men, things that were once men. Their armor is fused to their skin. Their eyes are empty. They move in perfect silence, a tide of rust and rot, their weapons dragging through the dirt. Hundreds of them. "The clean rot knights," Niall says quietly. "Millennia's abandoned warriors. Still loyal even in madness. They will kill everything." Vader ignites his lightsaber. The red blade hums, casting crimson light across his mask. The knights behind him shift nervously. "Stay back," Vader commands. He walks forward alone. The horde sees him. They charge. Vader raises his hand. The first 10 knights lift off the ground, weapons clattering from their grip. He slams them together in midair, armor crunching like paper. He throws the wreckage into the next wave, bowling them over. A knight with a massive spear lunges at his back. Vader spins, lightsaber cutting through the spear shaft, then through the knight's chest. No blood, just sparks and the smell of burning metal. 3 more come from the sides. Vader pushes with the Force. They fly backward, tumbling over their comrades. But there are too many. They swarm him, a forest of blades. Vader's lightsaber becomes a red blur, deflecting, cutting, burning. His breathing grows heavier. Each strike costs energy. Each push drains him. A knight's sword slips through, glancing off his shoulder plate. Vader staggers. Another blade cuts across his thigh. His leg servo whines. He roars, throwing both hands wide. A shockwave of Force energy explodes outward. 50 knights fly backward. The ground cracks. Dust and rot spores fill the air. Vader drops to one knee. His respirator struggles. Warning lights blink inside his helmet. Niall and his knights rush forward, forming a circle around Vader. Their shields lock. The surviving Clean Rot knights hurl themselves at the shield wall, but Niall's soldiers hold. "Fall back," Niall shouts. "To the ridge." They retreat in formation, dragging Vader with them. He tries to stand, but his leg servo is damaged. 2 knights support him. The horde follows, relentless, silent. They reach the ridge. Niall's archers appear from behind rocks, firing arrows into the mass below. The Clean Rot knights fall, but more keep coming. Vader pulls free from the knights holding him. He limps to the edge of the ridge. His hand rises. The Force gathers, dark and heavy. A boulder the size of a house tears free from the cliffside. Vader hurls it down into the horde. It crushes dozens. He tears another boulder loose, then another. The ground shakes, rocks rain down. The horde breaks, scattering into the mist. Silence. Vader collapses. His mask's breathing cycle is erratic. Coolant leaks from a crack in his chest plate. "Shut there." Niall kneels beside him. "You saved us, but you are hurt." "I will survive." "Not here. Caelid's rot infects wounds, even yours." Niall looks at his knights. "We take him to Castle Morn. The priests there can help." "I need no priests," Vader says. "Yes, you do," a new voice answers. A woman steps forward. She wears white robes marked with golden thread. Her eyes are covered by a silk blindfold, but she moves with perfect certainty. In her hands she holds a tome bound in brass. "I am Miriel, finger reader," she says. "I serve the 2 fingers, who serve the greater will which governs all life in the lands between." Vader stares at her. "I serve no one." "Perhaps, but you are not from this world. I can feel it. You reek of something else, something outside the Golden Order's law." She tilts her head. "You are either a miracle or a heresy. The priests will decide which." Niall helps Vader to his feet. "Can you walk?" "Yes." They descend the ridge, moving through the rotted landscape. Vader's leg drags, sparking. Behind them, the divine tower of Caelid glows in the distance, unreachable. Miriel walks beside Vader, silent for a long time. Then she speaks. "Why did you come here?" "I did not choose this." "Everything is choice. The greater will teaches that all paths lead to purpose, even yours." "I have seen gods," Vader says. "They lie." Miriel smiles beneath her blindfold. "Then you will fit in perfectly here." Codex. Note, the Force operates in the lands between, but it pulls against the fabric of grace, the golden energy that guides the tarnished and empowers the faithful. Act 2. Blood of the Erd Tree, Castle Morn, rises from the Weeping Peninsula, a fortress of grey stone, overlooking black cliffs and an endless sea. Banners, bearing the Golden Order's tree symbol, hang from every tower. Inside the great hall, Niall's knights stand at attention while priests in gold robes examine Vader. One priest, an old man with a long white beard, runs his hands over Vader's armor. Without touching it, his fingers glow with faint golden light. "Remarkable," the priest whispers. "He is more machine than man, sustained by craft I cannot fathom, and yet he breathes, he thinks, he kills." He looks at Miriel. "What is he?" "A question for the 2 fingers, Miriel says. She sits in the corner, hands folded over her tome. "But he fights for the living. That must count for something." "He fights with power that does not stem from grace," the priest counters. "No tarnished guidance, no rule, no faith, just raw will, bending the world to his command. That is sorcery at best, blasphemy at worst." Vader lies on a stone table, his helmet removed for the first time since arrival. His scarred, pale face is revealed. burn tissue covering most of his skull. The priests gasp. Niall looks away. Put it back on, Vader orders. A young priest steps forward, holding Vader's mask carefully. My lord, we need to see the damage to help you now. I said, put it back. The priest obeys. Vader sits up slowly, servos grinding. His leg is patched with crude metal from the castle forge. It will hold, but barely. Commander Neil approaches. The scouts report movement in Limgrave. Godric the Grafted is sending forces south. He heard about you. He wants to meet you. Who is Godric? Vader asks. A demigod, one of Queen Marika's distant descendants. He grafts the limbs of defeated warriors onto his own body, seeking strength he was not born with. He rules Stormvale Castle and commands thousands. Vader stands, testing his leg. It holds. Why does he care about me? Because you are strong, Niall says, and Godric collects strength. Miriel rises. Godric is weak-willed and cruel. He will not bargain. He will try to take you apart and wear your pieces. Let him try. You do not understand, the old priest says. Godric holds a great rune, a shard of the Elden Ring, the very law of this world. It grants him power beyond mortal limits. You cannot fight a demigod. Vader turns to face the priest. I have killed greater things than gods. Then you are a fool, the priest snaps. The Elden Ring is not a throne to conquer. It is order itself. To defy it is to invite chaos, rot, and the madness of the frenzied flame. If you fight Godric, you fight the structure of reality. Your reality is broken, Vader says. I have seen your land. It is dying. Your gods are silent. Your people are desperate. If Godric is part of that, then he will fall. The hall goes silent. Niall watches Vader carefully. Miriel smiles again, hidden beneath her blindfold. Bold words, Niall says, but Godric's army marches on Morn as we speak. 500 grafted soldiers, each one a patchwork of warriors Godric has slain. They will be here by dawn. Then we prepare, Vader says. The old priest steps forward. Commander, this is madness. We should evacuate. Send word to Lendel. Beg the Golden Order for reinforcements. Reinforcements will not come, Niall says flatly. Lendel is under siege by Morgott. The Carrion sorcerers war with the Academy. The demigods tear each other apart, while the lands between bleed. We stand alone. Then we will fall. No, Vader says. We will hold. Niall looks at Vader for a long moment, then he nods. All right, show me what you can do. They spend the night fortifying Castle Morn. Vader directs the knights with cold precision, placing archers on the walls, reinforcing gates with steel beams he lifts with the force. The soldiers watch him with awe and fear. Miriel finds Vader on the battlement, as staring at the horizon. The sea crashes against the cliffs below. The sky is the color of ash. You are troubled, she says. I am always troubled. You speak of killing gods, but I sense doubt in you. You do not want to be here. Vader does not answer. Why do you fight? Miriel asks. What do you seek? I seek nothing. Everyone seeks something. Power, redemption, death, love. She pauses. Which is yours? Vader turns to her. I was told I could save people. I was given power to protect them. I failed. Everyone I loved died or turned from me. Now I am this, he gestures at his armor, a machine that breathes. And yet you still fight for strangers. Interesting. I fight because it is all I have left. Miriel nods slowly. The lands between are full of warriors like you, tarnished, who have lost everything and who seek the Elden Ring to restore what was broken. But the ring does not heal. It only enforces law, order, hierarchy. The strong rule, the weak serve, and the world continues. She looks toward the sea. Is that the world you want? I do not care about your ring. You will. Before this ends, everyone cares. The dawn breaks gray and cold. Horns sound from the south. Godric's army appears on the horizon, a tide of twisted shapes moving through the mist. They do not march. They shamble, crawl, drag themselves forward on too many limbs. Niall stands beside Vader on the wall. 500 grafted soldiers, and at their center, Godric himself. Vader sees him, a massive figure, twice the height of a man, covered in grafted arms that sprout from his torso like a tree. He wears a golden crown and carries an axe the size of a door. His laughter echoes across the field. Me the stranger, Godrick's voice booms. Bring me his limbs, his power. I will wear him like a cloak. Vader ignites his lightsaber. The grafted army charges. Arrows rain from the castle walls, punching through grafted flesh. The soldiers do not stop. They hit the gate like a wave. Wood splinters, steel bends. Hold the gate, Niall shouts. Vader leaps from the wall, landing in the middle of the charging army. His lightsaber cuts through grafted limbs, cauterizing flesh. He spins, strikes, moves like a storm. Soldiers fall around him in pieces, but they keep coming. For every one he cuts down, two more appear. They pile on him, grabbing with dozens of hands, pulling him down. Vader roars. The Force explodes outward, tearing bodies apart. He rises, covered in blood that is not his. Godrick laughs. Yes, more! Show me your strength! The demigod strides forward, his grafted arms reaching, grabbing. He picks up his own soldiers and hurls them at Vader like projectiles. Vader deflects them with the Force, but the effort drains him. His chest plate sparks, his respirator hitches. Godrick raises his axe. Golden light blazes along the blade. The power of my great rune, given to me by the Golden Order. You cannot stand against it. He swings. Vader raises his lightsaber to block. The weapons collide. The impact sends shockwaves through the ground. Vader's boots skid backward, and his arms shake. Godrick is stronger, far stronger. I will take your arms, Godrick hisses. I will take your legs. I will wear your face and learn your secrets. He swings again. Vader dodges, but the axe clips his shoulder, tearing armor. Coolant sprays. Vader stumbles. Godrick's grafted hands grab Vader, lifting him into the air. The demigod's breath stinks of rotten gold. What are you? Where is your grace? Where is your rune? Vader's hand rises. He focuses every ounce of the Force into a single point, Godrick's throat. The demigod chokes. His eyes widen. His grafted hands release Vader. Vader drops, lands, and raises both hands. The Force crushes inward. Godrick's neck compresses. His crown falls. He claws at his throat with a dozen hands. I do not need your grace, Vader says. Godrick's axe drops. He falls to his knees. Vader steps forward, lightsaber raised for the killing blow. A voice cuts through the air, sharp and cold. Enough! The battlefield freezes. Soldiers stop mid-swing. Godrick stops struggling. Even the wind stops. A figure appears between Vader and Godrick. She is tall, impossibly tall, wrapped in golden robes that shine like the sun. Her face is hidden behind a mask of brass. In her hand she holds a staff that hums with power. I am the envoy of the two fingers, she says, voice of the greater will. You will cease this battle. Vader does not lower his blade. He attacked us. Godrick is a demigod. Flawed though he may be, he is part of the Golden Order. You are not. You have no right to take his life. Well, he forfeits that right when he chooses to kill. The envoy tilts her head. You speak of rights as if they are inherent. They are not. Rights are granted by law, and law is granted by the greater will. You exist outside that law. You are an anomaly. Godrick crawls backward, gasping. His grafted army retreats, dragging their wounded. Vader steps toward the envoy. Your God does not rule me. No, she agrees, but it rules this world, and you are in this world now. She gestures with her staff. Golden light surrounds Vader, not attacking, just observing. You have power, true power, power that does not come from grace or runes. That makes you dangerous. I am always dangerous. Yes, and that is why you will come with me to Lendl, the royal capital, to stand before the judgment of the Elden throne. Niall appears on the wall, shouting down, You cannot take him. He saved us. He killed in the name of mercy, the envoy says, but mercy is not his to grant. Only the Elden Ring decides who lives and who dies. Vader looks at Godrick, crawling away like an insect, then at the envoy, then at the castle, where Niall and his knights watch. If I refuse, Vader asks, Then you will be hunted by every knight, sorcerer, and tarnished in the lands between. You will have no allies, no shelter, no hope. Vader extinguishes his lightsaber. Then I will go. The envoy nods. Wise, Commander Nile, your castle is spared. Godrick, return to Stormvale and reflect on your weakness. She looks at Vader. And you, stranger, will learn what it means to exist in a world governed by gods. She turns and walks into the mist. Vader follows. Miriel watches from the gate, her blindfolded face unreadable. She whispers to herself, the first trial is survival, the second is choice, and the third is what you become. Godrick limps away, his grafted arms dragging in the dirt. He looks back at Vader once, his eyes burn with hate. I will have you, he hisses, piece by piece. Vader does not answer. He walks into the mist, following the envoy toward a city of gold and lies. The castle gates close behind him. Act 3, The Wound That Does Not Heal. The road to Lendil stretches across a landscape of broken beauty. Golden grass sways in fields dotted with ruins. In the distance, the Erd tree rises like a pillar, holding up the sky, its branches glowing with light that makes Vader's mask darken automatically. The envoy walks ahead, silent. Behind them, 6 knights in golden armor follow, hands on their sword hilts. They do not trust Vader. He does not blame them. His leg servo whines with each step. The patch from Castle Morn is failing. Coolant leaks down his boot, leaving a trail of dark fluid. You are damaged, the envoy says without turning. Yeah, I will survive. Perhaps, but the rot of Caelid lingers in your wounds. It is not a natural infection. It is a curse left by the Scarlet Rot that consumed the land when millennia bloomed. It eats at metal as eagerly as flesh. Vader feels it now, a burning in his circuits, a wrongness spreading through his cybernetics. His diagnostic systems flash warnings he has never seen before. Can it be stopped? He asks. In Lendil, perhaps, the priests of the Erd Tree know healing arts beyond mortal medicine if they choose to help you. And if they do not, then you will corrode from within until your body fails. They walk in silence for an hour. The Erd Tree grows larger, dominating the sky. Vader can feel its presence like a weight on his chest. Pressing down, the force twists around it, bending, flowing toward it like water down a drain. The sound rises from the east, hoofbeats, many of them. The knights form a protective circle around the envoy. She raises her staff. Show yourselves. From behind a hill comes a rider. She sits astride a white horse, her armor shining red and gold. A massive halberd rests across her saddle. Behind her ride 50 knights bearing the symbol of a red lion. Radahn's red manes, one of the golden knights whispers. But Radahn is mad, lost to the rot. Why do they ride? The woman removes her helmet. Her face is hard, scarred, beautiful in a deadly way, and her eyes are the color of steel. I am Commander Jaren, she says, Castellan of Redmane Castle. I have heard of the stranger who fell from the sky. I have come to test him. Stand aside, Jaren, the envoy commands. This man travels under the protection of the Two Fingers. The Two Fingers do not command the Red Manes, Jaren replies. We serve only Radahn, the Star Scourge, mightiest of all demigods, and though he is lost to rotten madness, his warriors remain. She points her halberd at Vader. You fought Godrick and lived. You wield power without grace. I would see this power for myself. Vader steps forward. I do not have time for this. Make time. Jaren dismounts. Her knights spread out, forming a wide circle. The golden knights back away, letting it happen. The envoy watches, saying nothing. Jaren twirls her halberd once. No killing blows. First blood ends it. Fight with honor, or do not fight at all. Vader ignites his lightsaber. The red blade hums in the golden afternoon. Jaren charges. She is fast, impossibly fast for someone in full armor. Her halberd sweeps low, aiming for Vader's damaged leg. He blocks with his blade, but the impact jars his whole body. His leg servo screams. She spins, reversing the halberd, thrusting at his chest. Vader sidesteps, swings his lightsaber. She blocks with the haft of her weapon. The lightsaber cuts halfway through the metal before she pulls back. Impressive blade, she says, but a blade is only as strong as the arm that wields it. She attacks again, a flurry of strikes that force Vader backward. Each block sends pain shooting through his damaged systems. The rot is spreading faster now, accelerated by combat stress. Vader raises his hand. The Force grabs Jaren, lifting her off the ground. She does not panic. Instead, she hurls her halberd. It spins through the air, aimed at Vader's head. He releases her to deflect the weapon. She lands, rolls, draws a straight sword from her belt. Before Vader can react, she is inside his guard, blade flashing. The sword cuts across his chest plate, shallow but enough. Sparks fly. A thin line of coolant sprays out. First blood. Jaren steps back, lowering her weapon. You are skilled, but you are wounded and growing weaker. Whatever you face in Lendel, you will not survive it like this. Vader extinguishes his lightsaber. His breathing is labored. The rot burns through his chest now, eating at the life support systems that keep him alive. Jaren sheathes her sword. I came to test you because I need to know if you are worth saving. Saving. Radahn, my lord, fell to the Scarlet Rot. He wanders the dunes of Caelid, eating the corpses of the fallen, his mind destroyed. He was the strongest warrior in the lands between. Now he is nothing. She looks at Vader with something like pity. The Rot does not care how strong you are. It takes everyone in the end. You have days, perhaps less. Then why tell me this? Because I see in you what Radahn once was. A warrior who fights not for glory or runes, but because it is what he is. She mounts her horse. In Caelid there is a woman, a sage who knows the secrets of the Scarlet Rot. She served millennia before the goddess abandoned her. If anyone can stop the rot in you, it is her. Where? The shack of the rotting, deep in the heart of the swamp. But Lendel lies west and Caelid lies east. You must choose. The envoy steps forward. The two fingers have summoned him. He cannot delay. Then he will die, Jaren says simply. She looks at Vader. The choice is yours, stranger. Obey your summons and face judgment while the rot kills you slowly, or seek the sage and live, but lose the protection of the Golden Order. Vader looks at the Erdtree, then at the eastern horizon where red clouds swirl. I will go to Caelid, he says. The envoy's mask turns toward him. You defy the two fingers. I defy death. Everything else is secondary. Then you are a heretic. The Golden Order's protection is withdrawn. You will be hunted. I am always hunted. Jaren smiles. Good. I will take you as far as the border. After that you walk alone. The Golden Knights draw their swords. He cannot be allowed to flee, their captain says. The envoy raises her staff. Golden light surrounds the knights, freezing them in place. Let him go. If he survives Caelid and finds the sage, he will return, and if he does not survive, then the problem solves itself. She looks at Vader one last time. You were given a chance to serve the order that governs all life. You refused. Remember that, when the rot eats your lungs and you drown in your own fluids. Vader mounts behind Jaren on her horse. The Redmane knights surround them. They ride east, toward the red sky. The envoy watches them go. Fool, she whispers. The sage will ask a price he cannot pay. They ride for 2 days. Vader's condition worsens by the hour. His respirator struggles, clogged with corrupted coolant. His leg locks up completely. He has to be carried from the horse when they stop to rest. Jaren's knights say nothing, but their eyes show what they think. He is already dead. On the second night, they camp at the edge of the swamp of Aeonia. The rot hangs in the air like fog. Trees twist into shapes that hurt to look at. The ground itself seems to breathe, oozing red sickness. Jaren sits beside Vader as he leans against a dead tree. His mask is tilted back, revealing his ruined face. He coughs, a wet, grinding sound. Why do you fight so hard to live? Jaren asks. You are in pain every moment. Your body is a prison. Would death not be mercy? Vader looks at her with eyes that have seen galaxies burn. I died once, on a planet of fire, burning alive, while the man I called brother walked away. I was kept alive by machines and hate. I became a weapon for an evil man. I killed thousands. He coughs again. I do not deserve mercy. I deserve to live long enough to make it right. And have you made it right? No. No. Jaren nods slowly. Then I hope you find your sage. At dawn they reach the shack of the rotting. It is a miserable structure of rotted wood and rusted metal, half sunk into the swamp. A single light glows in the window. Jaren stops at the edge of the clearing. This is as far as I go. The sage does not welcome armed soldiers. Vader slides off the horse. His leg drags uselessly. He stumbles toward the shack. Stranger, Jaren calls, if you survive, find me at Redmane Castle, but there is something I would ask of you. Vader does not answer. He reaches the door and pushes it open. Inside, the shack is surprisingly clean. Herbs hang from the ceiling. Books line makeshift shelves. In the center of the room sits a woman wrapped in stained bandages. Only her eyes are visible, sharp and green. You stink of rot and metal, she says. Sit. Vader collapses into a chair. His systems are failing. Red warnings fill his vision. The woman unwraps his leg, examining the corroded servo. The rot has spread through your mechanical parts. Fascinating. I have never seen it infect anything but flesh before. She looks at his chest. Your lungs are failing. Your heart is augmented, barely beating. You should be dead. Can you stop it? Yes. Relief floods through Vader. But it will cost you, the woman continues. She stands, pulling back her bandages. Underneath, her skin is covered in rot scars, beautiful and terrible. I am Millicent's teacher. I served millennia, the blade of Caelid, before she abandoned us to pursue her brother's dream. I learned to survive the rot by becoming part of it. To stop the rot in you, I must give you the same gift. What gift? The scarlet bloom, a seed of millennia's power planted in your chest. It will fight the rot from within, burning it away, but it will also change you. You will carry the scarlet rot inside you forever, dormant but present. If you lose control, if you give in to rage or despair, it will bloom, and when it blooms, everything around you will die. Vader stares at her. You want to turn me into a weapon of plague. I want to keep you alive. What you become after that is your choice, and if I refuse, then you die in this chair within the hour. Vader's respirator hitches. His vision darkens at the edges. And he thinks of Luke, of the empire he served, of the death and destruction he caused for decades. He thinks of Commander Nile and the soldiers he saved, of the choice to fight for something other than hate. If I take this power, Vader says slowly, can I control it? Millennia could not. She bloomed 3 times, each time destroying everything she loved. But you are not Millennia. You are something else. Perhaps you are strong enough. I have never been strong enough. The sage kneels before him. Then this is your chance to learn. She presses her hand to his chest plate. Heat spreads through his body, agonizing and cleansing. He screams a sound of metal and agony. His systems overload. His heart stops. Then restarts. The rot burns away, consumed by something hotter, fiercer. A seed of scarlet light embeds itself in his chest, pulsing with terrible life. Vader gasps. His systems stabilize. Warnings disappear. His leg servo whirs back to life, stronger than before. But he can feel it, the seed, waiting, hungry. It is done, the sage says. She wraps her bandages back around her face. You carry the scarlet rot now. Use it wisely, or do not use it at all. Vader stands. His body feels different, stronger, poisoned. What is the price, he asks. You already paid it. You will never be clean again. Codex note. The scarlet rot is the power of an outer god, a force beyond the Golden Order, patient and consuming, and now a part of Vader's very existence. Act 4, The Road to Judgment. Vader walks out of the shack into dawn light. Jaren and her knights are gone, but they have left a horse tied to a dead tree. A note hangs from the saddle. Return to Leyndell when you are ready. The Erd tree still waits. Jaren. Vader mounts the horse. It shies away from him at first, sensing the wrongness in him now. He calms it with the force, and they ride westward. The landscape changes as he travels. The rot gives way to golden fields, then to forests of silver and blue. He passes through Liurnia of the lakes, where massive turtles graze and sorcerers watch from distant towers. None approach him. He sleeps in ruins, eats rations he takes from abandoned camps, and practices controlling the seed in his chest. It pulses with each heartbeat, eager to be used. He can feel its power, vast and terrible. One push, one moment of surrender, and it would erupt, killing everything for miles. He does not push. On the 4th day, He reaches the outskirts of Lendl. The royal capital rises before him like a golden mountain, walls of white stone topped with spires that pierce the clouds. The Erd tree looms above it all, its roots wrapped around the city like a protective hand. At the main gate, a line of tarnished wait to enter, pilgrims, warriors, merchants, all hoping to find their fortune in the capital. Vader joins the line. The tarnished around him mutter and point. His black armor stands out like a shadow in the golden light. A knight in gleaming plate approaches. State your name and purpose. I am Darth Vader. I was summoned by the two fingers. The knight's eyes widen. The heretic, the one who defied the envoy, he draws his sword. You were cast out. You have no right to enter. Vader's hand moves to his lightsaber. The seed in his chest pulses, eager. I am here to face judgment, Vader says. Let me pass. No, the knight signals. 20 more knights appear, surrounding Vader. You will be taken to the dungeons to await execution. The tarnished in line scatter. Merchants hide. Pilgrims pray. Vader does not move. I do not want to fight you. You have no choice. The knights charge. Vader raises his hand. The Force lifts 10 knights into the air. He slams them into the ground. Not hard enough to kill, but hard enough to break bones. The others hesitate. From the city gates comes a new voice. Enough. A man walks through the gates, flanked by 2 priests. He is tall, thin, dressed in robes of white and gold. His face is kind, lined with age, but his eyes are hard. I am Brother Corin, he says. Scribe of the Golden Order, the two fingers have agreed to see you, despite your heresy. Lower your weapons, knights. He comes under truce. The knights obey, but they do not sheathe their swords. Corin approaches Vader. You defied the envoy. You went to Caelid. You took power from the Scarlet Rot. He tilts his head. And yet you returned. Why? Because I was summoned. No, there is another reason. You seek something. Absolution, perhaps. Vader says nothing. Corin smiles. Come, the two fingers wait in the Erdtree sanctuary. They will decide your fate. They walk through the city. Lendl is beautiful and oppressive. Every street is lined with statues of golden warriors. Every wall is carved with prayers. Citizens stop and stare as Vader passes, whispering behind their hands. Do you feel it? Corin asks. The grace of the Erdtree, permeating everything. It sustains us, guides us, protects us. It suffocates, Vader replies. Corin laughs. Perhaps, but suffocation is better than the alternative. Outside these walls, the lands between are chaos. Demigods warring, outer gods scheming, rot and frenzy, and blood consuming all. The Golden Order is the only thing holding the world together. And what happens when the order is wrong? Wrong, Corin stops. The Golden Order is not wrong. It is law. It is truth. To question it is to embrace chaos. I have served law before, Vader says. I have enforced order. I killed in the name of peace, and in the end, all I created was ashes. Corin studies him for a long moment. Then why are you here? If you do not believe in order, what do you seek? I seek to understand why I was brought here, and whether I can leave. Ah, so you still hope to escape? They reach the Erdtree sanctuary, a massive cathedral built into the roots of the Erdtree itself. The doors are 50 feet tall, carved with images of Queen Marika holding the Elden Ring aloft. Inside, the sanctuary is vast and silent. Pillars of light pierce the gloom streaming down from gaps in the Erdtree's bark above. At the far end, on a raised platform, sit the two fingers. They are not human. They are exactly what their name suggests. 2 massive fingers, each the height of a man, sprouting from a base of gnarled flesh. They do not move, they do not speak, but Vader can feel their presence, ancient and cold, watching him. Beside the 2 fingers stands the envoy, her brass mask gleaming. Darth Vader, she says. You have returned. Surprising. I was summoned. And you defied that summons. You chose the rot over grace. You carry the power of an outer god in your chest, a seed of plague that could destroy this city. She descends the platform, circling him. Give me one reason why you should not be executed. Because I am still useful. Useful to whom? To anyone who needs strength, I have fought your enemies. I have saved your soldiers. I have power that does not depend on your grace or your runes. That makes me valuable. The envoy stops in front of him. Or it makes you a threat. The two fingers shudder. A sound fills the sanctuary, deep and resonant, like a voice from the bottom of the sea. The envoy tilts her head, listening, and the two fingers have heard your plea, she says. They offer you a choice, 3 paths, each with a price. She raises her staff. Images form in the air, golden and flickering. The first path, return. We will send you back to your world through the same breach you entered. But the journey will be violent. Your memories of this place will fade like dreams. You will not remember us, and we will not remember you. You will be unchanged, unbound, and utterly alone. The image shows Vader standing in the ruins of Mustafar, his fortress restored, his mind empty. The second path, freedom. You may remain in the lands between as a free agent, unaligned with any faction. You may fight whom you wish, help whom you wish, kill whom you wish, but you will have no protection. Every demigod, every knight, every tarnished seeking glory will hunt you, and when the rot blooms, as it inevitably will, you will be slain without mercy. The image shows Vader wandering the wastelands alone, hunted, slowly losing control. The third path, service. You will serve the Golden Order as an instrument of its will. You will enforce its law, protect its people, and destroy its enemies. In exchange, we will teach you to control the rot within you. We will give you purpose, but you will not be free. Your will becomes ours. Your strength, our strength, until the Elden Ring is restored and order is returned to the world. The image shows Vader kneeling before the two fingers, a golden chain around his neck, his armor marked with the symbol of the Erd Tree. Choose, the envoy says. Vader looks at each image. He thinks of returning home, forgetting this place, going back to the empty halls of Mustafar. He thinks of freedom, hunted and alone, until the rot takes him. He thinks of service, bound once again to a power greater than himself. He has been here before. Palpatine offered him power in exchange for service. He accepted and became a monster. But Palpatine lied, the Empire destroyed, it took everything and gave nothing back. Is the Golden Order different, or is it just another empire with a prettier name? He looks at Corrin, standing in the shadows. What do you believe I should choose? Corrin steps forward. I believe you are a broken man seeking to be whole. Service offers you that. Purpose, guidance, a chance to use your strength for something greater than yourself. And my freedom? Freedom is a lie we tell ourselves. Everyone serves something, and at least this way you serve something that matters. Vader turns to the envoy. If I serve, what would you have me do? Morgott the Omen King besieges Lendel from the catacombs below. He commands legions of the cursed and forgotten, those born with horns and scales, cast out by the Golden Order. He seeks to tear down the Erd Tree and end the Age of Grace. She points toward the floor. You will go into the depths, you will face Morgott, and you will kill him. And if I refuse, then you choose one of the other paths, or you die here. The two fingers shudder again. The sound they make is patient, infinite, uncaring. Vader feels the seed in his chest pulse. It wants to be used. It wants to bloom, to kill, to spread scarlet death through this golden city. He closes his eyes. He thinks of Luke, refusing to serve the Emperor, choosing to die rather than surrender his soul. Luke was right. But Luke had the strength to make that choice. Vader does not know if he does. I need time, Vader says. You have none, the envoy replies. Morgott's forces will breach the surface within hours. The city will burn. Choose now. Vader opens his eyes. He looks at the two fingers, at their cold, ancient presence. I will serve, he says, but not forever. I will destroy Morgott. I will protect this city, and then you will help me find a way home that does not erase my mind. That is my price. The envoy is silent for a long moment. Then the two fingers shudder again. Agreed, the envoy says. But know this, if you fail, if Morgott survives, or if the rot blooms within the city, your life is forfeit. And if you succeed, the path home may not be what you hope. I understand. The envoy raises her staff. Golden light surrounds Vader, sinking into his armor, burning into his flesh. The seed in his chest reacts, pulsing, fighting. The two powers clash inside him, grace and rot, order and chaos. Vader screams. His cybernetics overload. His respirator fails. He falls to his knees. Then it stabilizes. The golden light and the scarlet seed reach a balance, circling each other in his chest like two predators in a cage. Vader stands. His armor is changed. The black plates now bear golden seams like cracks filled with light. His cape is edged with scarlet thread. He is marked, bound, changed. "You are now a knight of the Erd Tree," the envoy says, "sworn to serve until your task is complete. Go into the depths, face Morgott, and prove that your service is worth the mercy we have shown you." Vader looks at his hands. He can feel both powers now, grace and rot, waiting to be used. He has become a weapon again, but this time he chose it. That has to mean something. Corhin approaches, offering Vader a talisman carved with the image of the Erd Tree. "Wear this, it will protect you from the worst of the curses below. And remember, Morgott is not evil, he is desperate. He was born an omen, cursed from birth, cast into the sewers as a child. He fights for those the Golden Order abandoned." "Then why do you want him dead?" "Because he threatens order, and without order, there is only chaos." Vader takes the talisman. He places it around his neck. "Take me to the depths." Act 5, The Throne Beneath the World. The entrance to the depths lies beneath the Erd Tree sanctuary, hidden behind a wall that opens only when the envoy presses her staff against it. Stone grinds on stone. Cold air rushes out, carrying the smell of rot and despair. Corhin hands Vader a torch. "The grace of the Erd Tree does not reach the depths. You will walk in darkness." "I have walked in darkness before," Vader says. He descends. The stairs spiral down for what feels like hours. The walls are carved with prayers, but they are old, worn smooth by time and water. The golden light fades behind him. Soon there is only his torch and the sound of his breathing. At the bottom, the stairs open into a vast network of tunnels. This is the subterranean shunning grounds, where the Golden Order cast everything it deemed unworthy. Omens born with horns, criminals who broke sacred law, the sick, the cursed, the wrong. They did not die here. They survived, and they built a kingdom in the dark. Vader walks through abandoned chambers. He sees crude shelters made of broken stone, drawings on walls showing families, children, hope, empty now. The inhabitants have gone to war. Then, a sound echoes through the tunnels, horns deep and mournful, the call to battle. Vader follows the sound. He emerges into a massive cavern lit by torches and burning braziers. An army waits here. Hundreds of omens, men and women with horns curling from their skulls, with scales on their arms, with eyes that glow in the dark. They wear mismatched armor and carry crude weapons, but they stand in formation, disciplined, ready. At their head stands a figure in tattered royal robes. He is massive, 8 feet tall, with horns like a crown. In his hands he holds a staff that crackles with golden lightning. His face is scarred, old, sad. This is Morgott, the Omen King. He sees Vader. His eyes narrow. "And so," Morgott says, his voice like gravel and thunder, "the Golden Order sends a champion, a stranger wrapped in black and gold, carrying the rot in his chest and grace on his armor." He plants his staff. "Come to kill me, have you?" "Yes," Vader says simply. Morgott laughs, bitter and tired. "At least you are honest. That is more than I can say for the two fingers." He gestures at his army. "These are my people, the forgotten, the cursed, born wrong, cast aside, left to die in darkness. We have suffered for centuries while the Golden Order built its perfect city above us." "And now you attack that city," Vader says. "Yes, because we have nothing left to lose. Because our children are born in sewers and die in shadows. Because the Erd Tree's grace refuses us, and the Two Fingers name us abominations." Morgott's voice rises. "We did not choose to be born like this. We did not ask for horns or scales or eyes that see in the dark. But we were punished for it anyway." "Understand," Vader says quietly. "Morgott stares at him. "Do you?" I was born a slave. I was told I was special, chosen, destined for greatness. I was given power and told to use it for good. But the power corrupted me. I became a monster. I killed children. Vader's respirator hisses. I know what it is to be cast out. I know what it is to be called abomination. Morgott is silent for a long moment. Then he nods. Then you understand why I cannot stop. If I retreat, my people will be slaughtered. If I surrender, they will be chained. The only path is forward. There is always another path, Vader says. Not for us, not in this world. Morgott raises his staff. The Golden Order will never accept us, so we will tear it down. And build what in its place? Another order that casts out the wrong people. No, we will build nothing. We will burn everything and let the lands between start over. Vader ignites his lightsaber. I cannot allow that. Morgott's army moves forward, weapons raised, but Morgott holds up his hand. They stop. You and I will settle this, Morgott says. Champion against king. If you win, my people retreat. If I win, you die, and the city falls. Agreed. Morgott's staff transforms. Golden light swirls, shaping itself into a massive curved sword. Holy magic crackles along its edge. He charges. Vader barely blocks the first strike. The impact drives him backward, boots skidding on stone. Morgott is strong, impossibly strong, empowered by the great rune he carries. Morgott swings again, faster than something his size should move. Vader parries, but the force of the blow sends pain shooting through his arms, his cybernetics strain. You are weak, Morgott growls, broken, held together by wires and faith. He kicks Vader in the chest. Vader crashes into a pillar, cracking stone. His respirator stutters. The seed in his chest pulses, eager to help, eager to bloom. No, not yet. Vader rises. He raises his hand. The force grabs Morgott, slamming him into the ground. Stone cracks. Morgott's sword dissipates. But Morgott laughs. You think your power is special? I have fought demigods. I have stood against Radan himself. He rises, his great rune glowing on his chest. Your tricks mean nothing here. He summons a rain of golden daggers from the air. They fly at Vader like a swarm. Vader deflects some with his lightsaber, but others pierce his armor, sinking into gaps between plates. Coolant sprays, warning lights flash. Morgott summons his sword again and charges. Vader meets him blade to blade. They clash in the center of the cavern. Red light against gold, machine against flesh, order against chaos. The Omen army watches in silence. Some pray, some weep. Vader feels himself losing. Morgott is stronger, faster, empowered by his rune. Each strike drains Vader's failing systems. His leg servo whines. His chest plate is cracked. The seed inside pulses harder, demanding to be used. Just once, it whispers, just once, and you will win. Vader pushes it down. He thinks of Luke. He thinks of the choice to be better. But Morgott does not give him time to think. The Omen King swings his sword in a wide arc. Vader blocks, but the blade catches his damaged leg. Metal shears, servos snap. Vader's leg gives out. He falls. Morgott stands over him, sword raised for the killing blow. You fought well, stranger, but you serve the wrong masters. Vader looks up at him. Blood drips from his mouth where he has bitten his tongue. His vision blurs. You are right, Vader says. Morgott hesitates. What? The Golden Order is wrong. It casts out the innocent. It enforces law without mercy. It punishes people for being born different. Vader struggles to rise. But destroying it will only create more suffering, more death, more children born into war. Then what would you have me do? Morgott demands. Bow to those who hate us, accept chains? No, fight for change, not destruction. Force them to see you, force them to accept you, but do not become the thing you hate. Morgott's sword wavers. They will never change. They must, or they will fall anyway. Morgott looks at his army. He sees their faces, tired, desperate, afraid. He sees children hiding behind their parents. He sees old omens who remember the city above, who remember when they had homes. His sword fades. I am so tired, Morgott whispers. Vader pulls himself up on his one working leg. He extends his hand. Then stop fighting. Talk instead. The two fingers will never listen. Make them listen. I will bring them here. I will show them your people. I will make them see. Morgott stares at Vader's hand, then he takes it. The Omen army gasps. Some cheer, some cry. You are either a fool or a saint, Morgott says. I am neither. I am just someone who has seen what hate creates. Vader activates the talisman around his neck. It glows, sending a signal to the surface. Within minutes, the envoy appears at the cavern entrance, surrounded by golden knights. She sees Vader and Morgott standing together. Her mask tilts in confusion. The battle is over, Vader announces. Morgott will not attack the city. He is a heretic, the envoy says, an omen. He must be punished. He is a king defending his people. If you want peace, you will negotiate. The Golden Order does not negotiate with abominations. Vader's voice drops, cold and final. Then the Golden Order will fall, because I will not allow you to slaughter innocents. The seed in his chest pulses. Scarlet light bleeds through the cracks in his armor. The envoy sees it and takes a step back. You would betray us? She asks. I would protect those who cannot protect themselves. That is what you asked me to do. The two fingers shudder. Their presence fills the cavern, oppressive and ancient. The envoy listens to their soundless voice. The two fingers say they will consider a truce, she says, slowly, but there are conditions. Name them, Morgott says. The Omens must swear loyalty to the Golden Order. They must accept its law even if they disagree. And they must be marked, so that all know they are under watch. Morgott's face hardens. So we trade one chain for another. No, Vader interrupts. He looks at the envoy. The Omens will swear loyalty, but the Golden Order will grant them citizenship. They will live in the city, not beneath it. They will have homes, not sewers, and they will be protected under the same law as everyone else. That is not how the Order works, the envoy says. Then change it. The two fingers shudder again, longer this time. The envoy stands silent, listening. Her mask turns to Vader, then to Morgott, then back to the two fingers. Finally she speaks. The two fingers agree, but Morgott must surrender his great rune. He must give up his claim to power. Morgott's hand goes to his chest, where the rune glows beneath his robes. That rune is all that protects my people. You will not need it, Vader says. They will have the law instead. The law that cast us out, the law that will now include you. Morgott closes his eyes. He reaches into his robes and pulls out a fragment of golden light, pulsing with ancient power. The great rune of Morgott, the Omen King. He holds it out to the envoy. I will trust you, but if you betray us, I will rise again. The envoy takes the rune. You will not need to. The Golden Order keeps its promises. She turns to Vader. You have done what we asked. You have stopped the war. And you have shown mercy where we did not think to show it. She pauses. The two fingers release you from service. Your oath is fulfilled. Vader feels the golden light in his armor fade. The chains that bound him dissolve. He is free. And the path home? He asks. Home? The envoy points to a wall at the far end of the cavern. Carved into the stone is a circle of runes glowing faintly. That is an ancient portal, older than the Elden Ring itself. It connects to places beyond the lands between. We believe it will return you to your world. You believe? We do not know for certain. No one has used it in thousands of years. You may return home, you may be sent somewhere else entirely, or you may be scattered across the void. Vader looks at the portal. He looks at Morgott, at the Omen army, at the envoy. What happens if I stay? He asks. The envoy tilts her head. Then you remain here as a free agent. No oaths, no chains, but no protection either. You will be one among many, struggling to survive in a broken world. And the rot inside me. We can teach you to control it as we promised, but it will never leave you. You will carry the Scarlet Rot until you die. Vader considers this. He thinks of his empty fortress on Mustafar. He thinks of a galaxy where everyone he knew is dead or lost. He thinks of returning to nothing. And here at least he has done something good. Here at least he has saved lives instead of taking them. I will stay, Vader says, for now. Morgott steps forward. Then stay with us. Help us rebuild. Help us integrate into the city. He extends his hand again. Be an ally, not a servant. Vader shakes his hand. Agreed. The envoy nods. Then it is settled. The war is over. The Golden Order evolves, and you, Darth Vader, are free to walk the lands between. She raises her staff. Golden light fills the cavern, healing the wounded, mending the broken. The Omen army kneels, not in submission but in gratitude. Vader watches them. He feels the seed in his chest, quiet now, no longer hungry. He feels the Force flowing freely without the weight of grace constraining it, and for the first time in decades, he feels something like peace. Corrin appears at the cavern entrance, breathless. The city celebrates. The siege is lifted. People are calling you a hero. I am no hero, Vader says. Perhaps not, but you are something better. You are someone who chose mercy over revenge. That is rare in the lands between. Vader looks at his hands, at the golden seams in his black armor, at the scarlet thread in his cape. He is marked now, changed by this world. But he chose it. That is the difference. He follows Corrin and the envoy back to the surface with Morgott and his people behind him. They walk together through tunnels that have only known darkness toward a city that has only known light. Above them, the Erd tree glows, patient and eternal, watching the birth of something new. Codex. Note, the grace of the Golden Order now extends to all, even those born with horns, and the lands between take their first step toward a new age. 3 months later. Lendel has changed. Omens walk the streets freely, no longer hidden. Children with horns play in gardens beside human children. The Golden Order's priests preach acceptance, though some do so through gritted teeth. Not everyone is happy. Some knights have left the city, refusing to serve alongside omens. Some nobles have closed their doors, but change is happening, slow and painful and real. Vader stands on the walls of Lendel, looking out at the lands between. His armor has been repaired, his leg rebuilt, the seed in his chest is quiet, controlled. He has learned to live with it, the way he learned to live with his suit. Morgott joins him. The Omen King now serves as an advisor to the Golden Order, his voice equal to any priest or knight. The Redmanes sent word, Morgott says. Jeren requests your presence at Redmane Castle. She says Radan stirs in the desert and she fears he will wake soon. And if he does, then someone will need to stop him or save him. Morgott looks at Vader. She asks for you specifically. Vader considers this. I will go after I help finish the housing district. Morgott smiles. You have become a builder. Strange for a weapon. I am trying to be more than that. Succeeding, I think. They stand in comfortable silence, watching the sun set over the golden fields. In the distance, the Erd tree glows, eternal and patient. A young Omen child runs up to them, breathless. Lord Vader! Lord Vader! My mother says to thank you. She says we have a real house now, with windows. Vader looks down at the child. Her horns are small, just beginning to grow. Her eyes are bright with hope. You are welcome, he says quietly, and the child runs off, laughing. Down! Morgott watches her go. You have given them something I could not. Hope. You gave them survival, that is enough. Perhaps, but survival without hope is just slow death. Morgott clasps Vader's shoulder. Thank you, stranger, for seeing us. He leaves Vader alone on the wall. Vader looks at his hands. They have built walls this week instead of tearing them down. They have lifted stones instead of choking throats. They have protected instead of destroyed. It is not redemption. He does not deserve that, but it is a start. Far to the east, in Caelid's crimson wastes, something moves in the sand. A massive figure, eating, sleeping, dreaming of stars. Radan, the star scourge, stirs in his madness. To the north, in Liurnia's silver lakes, sorcerers plot in their towers, seeking power beyond grace, beyond runes, beyond order. To the west, in the lands beyond the fog, ancient evils wait, patient and hungry. The lands between are not saved, they are not healed. The Elden Ring is still shattered, the demigods still war, the outer gods still scheme. But for now, in one city, on one wall, a broken man watches the sunset and allows himself to feel something other than hate and be. The Force whispers around him, touched by this strange world's magic. The seed in his chest pulses once, gentle, controlled. Vader breathes. In and out, the respirator hisses its eternal rhythm. He is not free, he is not whole, he is not forgiven. But he is here, and he is trying. That will have to be enough. In the shadows below the city, in the deepest part of the catacombs, something watches, a figure wrapped in tattered gold, eyes burning with ambition. Godrick the Grafted survived his humiliation. He plots revenge, gathering strength, grafting new limbs, preparing. He whispers to himself, I will have him piece by piece. In the Erdtree sanctuary, the two fingers shudder. The envoy kneels before them, listening to their soundless voice. The stranger has proven useful, she says, but he carries the rot. He is unpredictable. Should we eliminate him? The two fingers respond. The envoy nods slowly. But watch and wait. Understood. If he becomes a threat, we will act. She rises and leaves the sanctuary, her brass mask reflecting the Erdtree's golden light. In a distant land beyond the fog, past the mountain tops of the giants, a woman with red hair watches through a pool of scarlet water. She sees Vader on the wall. She sees the seed in his chest, the gift her teacher gave him. She smiles. Brother, Millennia whispers, I have found someone who carries my rot, but does not fall to it. Interesting. She rises, her prosthetic arm gleaming. Her blade rests across her back, patient and deadly. Perhaps when you bloom, stranger, I will be there to see it. She turns and walks into the mist, leaving only the echo of her footsteps. The story of Darth Vader in the lands between has only just begun. But tonight, on the walls of Lendel, under the light of the Erdtree, he allows himself one moment of peace. Tomorrow will bring new battles, new choices, new paths. Tonight, he simply breathes, and for a man who once burned on a volcanic shore, who once lost everything to fire and hate, who once thought he would never feel anything but rage again, that is a kind of miracle. The Erdtree's light touches his armor, mixing gold with black, grace with shadow, order with chaos. Darth Vader stands at the edge of a broken world and chooses once again to try. The force flows around him, the rot sleeps within him, the grace marks him, and he is a weapon, he is a builder, and he is a monster, he is a protector. He is all of these things and none of them. He is simply a man trying to be better than he was. In the lands between, that is enough to be legendary.